This is the Karcher EcoBooster 3000 pressure washer nozzle tip. Again, goes right into the nozzle of your pressure washer, and they state right on the box here that you get a plus 50% cleaning performance. On the side here, it states 50% plus energy efficiency and 50% plus water efficiency. So in today's video, we're gonna open this thing up, check it out, and then put it to use to see if it actually does make any difference at all. Now, they do advertise this for obviously around the house, patios, things like that, but they also do advertise this for using it on cars. So I wanna make sure, first of all, this thing retails for about $30, so I wanna make sure it's actually worth buying, and if there's actually any boost in performance. Real quick, I do want to highlight this right on the back here. Again, it says a flat jet with 50% higher cleaning performance. Better cleaning results with less use of resources for thorough, fast, and sustainable cleaning, especially suitable for efficient cleaning of sensitive surfaces. Now guys, this is obviously from Karcher. So they advertise that it works for their Karcher 1700s. Compatible with Karcher 1700 to 3000 PSI units. With 1/4 inch quick connect fittings. And that 1/4 inch would be the nozzle size. So that's where it just pops in. There you go, and that would be it. So under first examination of this thing, it looks to me like it's going to be a, I don't know, 40-degree nozzle or something like that. If you look through this piece here, I know you guys can't see, but we will open this up. The nozzle ends about there, and then this is just a chamber for it to come through. So in my head, I'm trying to figure out, okay, they're saying that this is the end of the nozzle, and yes, you're gonna have a nice wide fan. But would it be the same as using a regular nozzle set back to here, and then that's where you're getting the fan? Now again, they do state a flat fan panel, and maybe this cleans it up a little bit. I don't know. We're gonna open this thing up right now, and then we'll test. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pop this open. If you look on the back of the unit here, there are 6 screws, 2, 4, 6, and they are all a T10 style head. So we're gonna go ahead and back all of these off, and then we'll check out the internals. All right guys, so we've got all those removed. Let's go ahead and open this guy up now. All right, so here is our nozzle, right? This is the actual nozzle that we're using. This is what we would really be comparing this versus any other nozzle. Now it does state on here, I'm very, very happy, 25019. What does that mean? That means that it is a 25-degree nozzle with a 1.9 size orifice. Now, that may be where the boost in performance comes, but that would be the same across any nozzle if you just reduce the orifice size. Many of them usually come in 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, and so on. So if, I don't remember what the Karcher machines usually come with, but say it's a 2.5, if you go to a 1.9, you're going to definitely increase the PSI. You're gonna reduce your GPM though, because now there's a smaller hole for it to go through. And you will also raise your amps on your machine. So just keep that in mind. Now, additionally, we do have this large yellow sleeve in here. And this looks to be more than I thought it was. Let's see, can we remove this? Yes, we can. So I don't know. Basically what it does, this side has the framed texture in it, right? Versus the yellow, and then this side are nice and smooth. Okay, so nothing to restrict any flow through there. So that's what's gonna be sandwiched together. So you may get a bit of a smoother surface coming out. So again, we'll test that. Right off the bat though, build quality, usually for most things that I see, for most pressure washer nozzles, they come in stainless steel. This is brass, or appears to be brass at least. It's definitely not stainless steel. Does that matter? Some people will complain about that. Some people will want it to be stainless steel. I have no problem that it's brass at all. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing all back together, and then we will go and test it. All right guys, so for this test, we're gonna be utilizing the Ava Easy Plus, fantastic pressure washer. One of my top recommendations for if you're looking for something that works really well for the car and around the house, has a built-in hose reel, ready to go, 40-foot hose, nice and flexible, tons of accessories, great machine. I'll link that down in the description for you guys as well. But here is the Karcher, again, EcoBooster 3000. The actual nozzle, like I said, is stated 25 degrees, 1.9 orifice. I don't have a 1.9 orifice outside of that, but what I do have is a 40-degree, 1.5 orifice. Now the problem is that may overamp our machine. Additionally, we have this guy here, a 25-degree, 2.2 orifice nozzle, so that's still nice and small. We'll lose some PSI for sure, but then we increase the GPM because it's a little bit larger of a hole, it's easier for the water to pass through. So will the cleaning ability actually change? That's the question, right? I would tend to, like, basically what I was saying, the end of the nozzle is here. If we were just to use the pressure washer nozzle back about 6 inches away from the surface, we should be getting the exact same efficacy. Now, another thing to really talk about real quick is something called impact force. That is the force of the water actually making impact to the surface that you're trying to clean. Obviously, a 25-degree fan, let me put these down, a 25-degree fan is more focused than a 40-degree fan is. A 0-degree nozzle obviously is even more focused. So if you take the same size nozzles, same size orifice size across all of those, the 0 degree is going to have a higher impact because it's all forced into that one spot and not dissipated across the fan. Now with that said, let's test this thing and see how it actually performs for $30. All right guys, so the area that we're going to clean is right around the corner here, so I'll film with my phone. I have my 3D printed, this is my latest prototype of my gun that I'm going to be coming out with, so I'm very excited for that. We're going to be going ahead and throwing it on here. The nozzle's on here. We're going to test a few things. We're going to look at the amperage reading, again, because it's a 1.9 orifice nozzle, and I want to be very clear. Nozzle size, not the angle, not the degree, but the orifice size is very, very important for your machine. If you go too low, you're going to overamp the machine, you're going to burn it out early, so just be cautious of that. So I've got the unit, water's all hooked up. We're going to go ahead and pull the trigger, and it's interesting, it comes out like that right now, which doesn't look great. Let's go ahead and turn the machine on. It's all primed, here we go. There we go. Nice, even fan, for sure. Now again, this is a 1.9 orifice nozzle, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and we're gonna check the amp reading. Yeah, you see that? We're at 16.8, yeah, basically maxed out at 16.8, and this unit here is meant to run on a 15 amp breaker, so we're over amping. Not great. I'm gonna run the test anyway to see what we get, but it's not ideal for that. It's interesting that they list this for their 1700 all the way up to 3000 PSI units. I don't think that's gonna fit everything actually. Now guys, I have to say it didn't feel like it was super powerful either, which I would assume it would be higher up. I'm not gonna do a PSI test, even though we could, I guess, but that's not the, I think the biggest thing is the cleaning ability here, not the numbers, right? So I am gonna go ahead and take another 25-degree nozzle. Again, this one's listed at 2.2 for the orifice size, so larger. We're probably gonna be, we're definitely gonna be lower on the amp range over here. But let me just go ahead and show you on my phone the shape of this fan. Okay, here we go, standard nozzle. I mean, a little bit wider. You can see the main stream going down the middle there, and then there's some spray off the sides of it. And it seems like the Karcher one kind of cleans up that spray off the side, but this one feels more powerful. So it's almost like cutting down the effectiveness of it, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and take an amp reading now with this nozzle. Okay, so here we go. So we're still overamping, but just slightly. We're at 15.4. Yeah, so slightly. So again, the larger orifice allows us to drop the amperage, right? There's less draw on the machine because it's opened up a little bit. And real quick guys, the 40-degree nozzle, I'm not gonna use this one because this is a 1.5 orifice. That's gonna overamp this machine way too much. All right, let's do a little performance test. All right, so 25-degree 2.2 orifice nozzle. Again, I'm getting, that's about the same distance. Now again, for delicate surfaces, it's great that you are further back, but you don't need a guide necessarily to pull further back. You can just stay further back. So again, I'm actually getting up nice and close with this, which because we don't have this whole thing on here, it's nice, because right here, look, it's cleaning, but not doing a ton, versus if I go in tight, it cleans super efficiently. All right, let's switch over to this Karcher. I'm not expecting a lot, actually, guys, to be perfectly honest, for cleaning power on this because of how close I needed to get with this one. But here we go. Yeah, it feels weak. Feels like it's all just getting crumped up. I don't, that looked pretty good. I'm actually shocked by that. So if we get all the way down, so I'm going to try and match the pace. Okay, we're going to switch back to this one now. Again, staying a little bit back. And now again, it does make sense that that one will get a little bit more cleaning ability with the higher PSI on this, but I'm going to try and see right about there. So distance-wise. Okay, so again, trying to match that speed now. This is doing a better job. This is doing a better job. Now, the only discrepancy is really, I think what it really boils down to is that this is a smaller orifice. So you're gonna be able to get, if you were able to match it and get a 1.9 orifice and a 25 degree, we should be getting the same exact performance. But just off of that initial test, this one does seem to be doing a better job. Switch it over again. Okay, so it is struggling here. It's getting it. I don't know, it's just like how precise this fan is. Again, because of this reduction on here, you're losing all that spray off the side. It does seem to be, I think it is actually doing what it's saying. I think it is slightly more effective. Is it 50% more? I don't think so. All right, guys, so now real quick, for me, if you're looking to actually do some heavy cleaning on a hard surface like this, a turbo nozzle is the best way to go, or a surface cleaner, you know, like the big ones that have a bunch of stuff that goes around. These things are awesome though. Basically what it is, it's a 0 degree nozzle. So again, we're talking about impact force, right? You're getting the most that way. But this is on like a little bearing, so it spins. So it creates like a conical shape to it. And again, this is actually larger, so we're not overamping with this one. This one's from Ava of Norway, but I'll link a bunch of other ones down in the description for you. But watch how quickly it cleans here. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray. And bingo bango, look at that. And I'm back quite a bit. So if I get up close, it's really, really fast, right? Again, you don't want to move it too quick because now you see that conical shape to it. But if you move slow, it's amazing. So final thoughts on the Karcher EcoBooster 3000. Does it increase efficiency? I think maybe a hair. Again, it wasn't apples to apples, 1.9 orifice versus a 2.2, but this definitely did seem to clean faster. It definitely does clean up the spray pattern a little bit. Is it 50% more cleaning power? No, I would give it 5 to 10% at max, to be perfectly honest. And then when we get into the pricing, $30 versus like a pack of these you can get on Amazon for like $7 or $8. So, and then you get all the sizes. Again, when we go into wanting to be the most efficient in your cleaning, I think a turbo nozzle is the way to go around the house. I don't use these on cars. Some people will use them on wheels. I personally don't, in most circumstances, unless it's a rare occasion. But overall, value proposition to this, I would say pass. I would. $30. I think it's kind of a cool item, but at $30, it's hard to justify that price for what it does. That is it for today's video though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.